The confetti had barely settled. The trophy was still warm in her hands. The crowd's cheers were still echoing in her ears. Alex Eala had just done the impossible. She had defended her Birmingham Open title on one leg, against all odds, in front of the world. It was the kind of victory that defines careers, the kind of victory that makes legends. But what happened after the victory, after the cameras left, after the stadium emptied, is something that nobody expected, something that has the entire Philippines buzzing. Coco Martin, the king of Philippine television, the man who has been a fixture in Filipino living rooms for over a decade, he reached out to Alex Eala, not with a tweet, not with a public congratulations, not with a social media post, with a quiet invitation, a dinner, just the two of them, away from the spotlight, away from the noise, away from the pressure. Why did he invite her? What did they talk about? And what did Coco Martin reveal about his own future plans that left Alex Eala speechless? Today on TopSpin, we are telling the full story of the dinner that nobody was supposed to know about, the conversation that could change everything, and the unexpected bond between two of the Philippines' biggest icons. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let us go back to the moment the invitation arrived. Alex Eala was still in Birmingham. The victory was still fresh. Her ankle was still sore, but her heart was full. She had done it. Again. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. She almost ignored it, but something told her to look. The message read, "Congratulations, Alex. You made us all proud. I would love to have dinner with you. No cameras, no media, just two Filipinos celebrating your incredible achievement. Let me know if you're free. Coco Martin." Eala stared at the screen. She read the message 3 times. She showed it to her coach. Her coach's eyes went wide. "Coco Martin? The Coco Martin?" Eala nodded. Her coach asked, "Is this real?" Eala did not know. She replied to the message, "Thank you so much. I would be honored. Is this really you?" A few minutes later, her phone rang. It was a video call. Coco Martin's face appeared on the screen. He smiled, he waved, he said, "It is really me, Alex. Congratulations again. When are you free?" The call lasted 20 minutes. They talked about the match, about her injury, about her plans. Coco Martin was warm, genuine. He was not acting, he was not performing. He was just a Filipino who was proud of another Filipino. He suggested a small private restaurant in London, a place where they would not be disturbed. Eala agreed. The date was set, the dinner was on. News of the dinner leaked within days. No one knows how. Perhaps a staff member at the restaurant, perhaps a member of someone's team. But the news spread like wildfire. Filipino social media exploded. Fans could not believe it. 2 icons, 1 dinner, no cameras. It was the most intriguing celebrity story of the year. Everyone wanted to know more. What would they talk about? Would they become friends? Was there a deeper purpose behind the invitation? The speculation was endless. But the truth, as we are about to reveal, was even more interesting than the rumors. The dinner took place 3 nights after the Birmingham Open final. The location was a small, intimate Filipino restaurant in London. The name of the restaurant has not been disclosed, but sources describe it as the kind of place where the food tastes like home, where the staff treats you like family, where no one asks questions. Coco Martin arrived first. He was dressed in a simple black polo shirt and dark jeans. No entourage, no bodyguards, just him. He sat in a private room at the back of the restaurant. He ordered tea. He waited. Alex Eala arrived a few minutes later. She was dressed casually, a white shirt, black pants, sneakers. Her ankle was still wrapped, but she was walking better. She looked relaxed, happy. She had been looking forward to this. They hugged, not the awkward celebrity hug, a real hug, the kind that says, "I am glad to see you." They sat down. The staff brought out appetizers, lumpia, pancit, BBQ skewers, food that reminded them both of home. They ate. They talked. And for the next 3 hours, they talked about everything. First, they talked about the match. Coco Martin wanted to know everything. How did she feel when she was down a set? How did she manage the pain in her ankle? What was going through her mind on the final point? Eala answered honestly. She told him about the fear, the doubt, the moment she almost gave up. She told him about her coach's words, about the Filipino fans in the stands, about the voice inside her head that refused to let her quit. Coco Martin listened. He nodded. He understood. Then they talked about the future, and this is where the conversation got interesting. Coco Martin asked Eala about her plans, what tournaments were next, what were her goals for the rest of the season, what did she want to achieve in the next 5 years. Eala answered thoughtfully. She talked about the Ilkley Open, about Wimbledon, about the US Open. She talked about her dream of cracking the top 10, of winning a Grand Slam, of inspiring the next generation of Filipino tennis players. Coco Martin listened intently. Then he shared his own plans. He told Eala that he was working on a new project, a film about Filipino athletes, their struggles, their sacrifices, their triumphs. He said he wanted to tell the stories that nobody tells, the stories behind the headlines, the stories of the families who sacrifice everything, the stories of the coaches who believe when no one else does. And then he said something that made Eala's jaw drop. He said, "Alex, I would like you to be part of this project, not as an actor, as an advisor, as a contributor. Your story is the kind of story that needs to be told. Your journey can inspire millions. Will you help me?" Eala was speechless. She looked at her coach, who was sitting at a nearby table. Her coach nodded. She looked back at Coco Martin. She said, "I would be honored, but I have one condition." Coco Martin raised an eyebrow. "Name it." Eala smiled. "You have to teach me how to act." They both laughed. The deal was made. Not a contract, not a business agreement, a promise between two Filipinos who wanted to make their country proud. The dinner conversation was not limited to tennis and movies. Coco Martin and Alex Eala talked about life, about the things that matter, about the things that keep them awake at night. They talked about family. Coco Martin asked about Eala's parents, her brother, her life in Spain. He asked if she gets homesick. Eala admitted that she does, especially during holidays, especially when she is injured, especially when she loses. She said, "There are nights when I just want to go home, to eat my mom's cooking, to sleep in my own bed, to be a normal 21-year-old. But then I remember why I'm here, and I keep going." Coco Martin nodded. He shared his own struggles, the years he spent away from his family while building his career, the guilt of missing birthdays and holidays, the loneliness of success. He said, "People think that fame makes everything easier. It does not. It makes some things harder. You have to learn to be alone, to find peace in solitude, to remember why you started." They talked about pressure, the pressure of being a role model, the pressure of representing the Philippines, the pressure of millions of people watching your every move. Coco Martin admitted that he still feels it, every day, every time he steps on set, every time he speaks in public. He said, "The pressure never goes away. You just learn to carry it. You learn to use it. You turn it into fuel." They talked about the haters, the critics, the people who want you to fail. Coco Martin shared his philosophy. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them hate. Their words are wind. Your work is concrete. Focus on the concrete. Ignore the wind. Eala wrote that down on a napkin. She said she would keep it in her tennis bag to read before every match. They talked about the Philippines, their shared love for their country, their shared desire to see it succeed. Coco Martin said, "The Philippines has given me everything, my career, my platform, my purpose. I owe it everything. That is why I work so hard. That is why I will never stop." Eala agreed. She said, "Every time I step on the court, I am not just playing for myself. I am playing for every Filipino who has ever been told they are not good enough. I want to prove them wrong." By the end of the dinner, they were not just acquaintances. They were friends, bonded by shared experiences, shared struggles, shared dreams. They exchanged numbers. They promised to stay in touch. Coco Martin paid for the meal. He walked Eala to her car. He said, "Keep winning, Alex. The Philippines is watching, and we are so proud of you." She hugged him. She got in the car. She drove away. The dinner was over, but the relationship had just begun. When news of the dinner broke, the Philippines lost its collective mind. Social media exploded. Hashtags like Coco and Alex, Dinner of Champions, and Pinoy Pride trended worldwide. Fans could not believe that two of their biggest icons had come together. A fan on Twitter wrote, "Coco Martin and Alex Eala having dinner together? This is the crossover I never knew I needed. Two legends, one table. My heart is full." Another fan wrote, "Imagine being a fly on the wall at that dinner. The stories they must have shared, the wisdom they must have exchanged. I am so jealous." Some fans speculated about the purpose of the dinner. Was it just a friendly gesture, or was there something more? A collaboration? A business deal? A mentorship? The theories were endless, but the truth, as we now know, is even better than the theories. It was friendship, genuine connection, two successful Filipinos supporting each other. Other celebrities weighed in. Ann Curtis posted an Instagram story with a screenshot of the news article and the caption, "This is beautiful. Two icons supporting each other. This is what we need more of." Vice Ganda tweeted, "Coco and Alex, king and queen. Respect." Even athletes from other sports chimed in. Manny Pacquiao posted, "Coco Martin is a class act. Alex Eala is a champion. This dinner makes me proud to be Filipino." The restaurant where the dinner took place became an overnight sensation. Fans flooded the comments on their social media pages, asking if they could book the same private room. The restaurant owners, overwhelmed by the attention, posted a simple message: "We are honored to have hosted two Filipino icons, Maraming Salamat, Coco and Alex." But amidst all the excitement, there was also criticism. A small minority of fans argued that the dinner was a publicity stunt, that Coco Martin was using Alex Eala for attention, that Alex Eala was being used for a future project. These criticisms were quickly shot down by other fans. Coco Martin does not need publicity, one fan wrote. He is already the biggest star in the country. He invited Alex because he respects her. Stop being negative. The truth, as always, lies in the actions of the two individuals involved. Neither Coco Martin nor Alex Eala has used the dinner for publicity. Neither has posted about it on social media. Neither has given interviews about it. The news leaked against their wishes. They wanted it to be private. That is the opposite of a publicity stunt. That is genuine.
Let us take a step back, because the dinner between Coco Martin and Alex Eala is more than just two famous people eating together. It is about the power of connection, the importance of mentorship, the beauty of Filipinos supporting Filipinos. First, this dinner gave Alex Eala something she desperately needed: perspective. She has been through so much: the French Open heartbreak, the fan controversy, the injury, the pressure, the $20 million rejection. It is easy, in the midst of all that, to lose sight of why she started playing tennis in the first place. Coco Martin reminded her. He reminded her that she is not alone, that there are people who understand her struggles, that there are people who believe in her. That reminder is priceless. Second, this dinner opened doors for Alex Eala. Coco Martin's film project about Filipino athletes could be a platform for her to share her story with an even wider audience, not just tennis fans, everyone. The project could inspire millions, and Alex Eala could be at the center of it all. That is not just exciting, that is transformative. Third, this dinner sent a message to young Filipinos. It said, you can be anything: an actor, an athlete, a scientist, a teacher, and whatever you choose, you can achieve greatness. You can make your country proud. You can be recognized by your heroes. That message is powerful. It will inspire a generation. For Coco Martin, the dinner was also meaningful. He has achieved everything there is to achieve in Philippine entertainment, but he is not resting. He is looking for new challenges, new ways to contribute, new stories to tell. His interest in Alex Eala is not just personal, it's professional. He sees in her a story that needs to be told, a story that can inspire, and he wants to be the one to tell it. So, here's where we leave you. Coco Martin quietly invited Alex Eala to dinner after the Birmingham Open final. They talked, they laughed, they planned, they connected. The dinner was private, but its impact will be public. The Philippines is watching, and the future is bright. For more coverage in tennis, subscribe and hit the notification bell.